Hey everybody, the Swag Chef here again with another weapon review. Before we get started, I wanted to apologize for the long break in between content. We're going to try getting back into the swing of things with more regular content and gameplay videos. Now, today, we're going to be looking at my Timeline's Vertex, an adaptive frame fusion rifle that was introduced way back in Season 10, Season of the Worthy. The only way to acquire one now is from world drops or rolling the dice with Banshee. Unfortunately, the loot pool is so saturated with garbage and other weapons that you'll have a hard time finding one, let alone getting the roll that you actually want. Regardless, this is the weapon that I've been using the most in my videos so far. You've seen it in my trials videos, my Iron Banner videos, and I wanted to give it a special feature of its own. Now I'm on Destiny 2 Gunsmith, and looking at the stats of Timeline's Vertex, it doesn't look like much. There's nothing really standing out. However, it's actually superior to the other non-sunset adaptive frames in most categories. The only place where it's really any worse is when you look at the range compared to Trinary System and Techian Force. But that difference is nullified because Timeline's Vertex is the only adaptive that can roll with scopes rather than barrels. These scopes increase the zoom, which pushes out the effective range further. Timeline has better stability than most, better handling and reload, and much better aim assist. Trinary has more vertical recoil at 55, however that can be easily remedied on Vertex by using a counterbalance mod. Now in regard to perks, in the first column we have our scopes. We have the torch, flash, jolt, spark, candle, transmission, impulse, and signal. In this category, my favorite would be the flash. However, the statistical best one is the Impulse MS3. It gives +6 to zoom, +10 to range. It hurts your handling a little bit, however it allows the gun to reach out much farther than it usually can. The flash is my personal preference. I had it on my old Erentil, and it gives +4 zoom, +8 range, and +2 handling. Now for battery options, out of all of these, liquid coils is always a solid bet to increase your damage. However, particle repeater and projection fuse are also good just for flat bonuses to stability and to range. Now in the third column, you have firmly planted, and this is the #1 clear winner in my opinion. The other perks, shield disorient, field prep, auto loading, lead to gold, none of those are really going to serve any purpose in PvP to help you secure kills or to do more damage. Firmly planted will allow you to increase your stability, increase your consistency when you're shooting crouched. Now in the final column, you have a bunch of good options here. Snapshot, Elemental, and Demolitionist are the best in my opinion, with emphasis on Elemental Capacitor. My personal roll comes with a choice of the Signal MS5 scope or Impulse MS3, accelerated coils or projection fuse, firmly planted, and Elemental Capacitor, with a stability masterwork on top. In my opinion, this roll is as good as it gets. Rocking the Impulse increases both range and zoom as much as possible. Projection fuse also helps to stretch out that range just a little bit further. Firmly planted and Elemental Capacitor work together to crank up the stability as much as possible, and the stability masterwork is just a cherry on top of it all. When I'm on a Void subclass and crouched, the stability bonus takes the stability on the weapon all the way up to 93. If I had particle repeater on my Timeline, there would be some stat points going to waste as the stability would be pushed over 100. My roll allows for the highest range possible while also having extremely good stability. Now, in terms of the mod choice that I use, when I'm on my Hunter, I usually choose Icarus Grip because I spend a lot more time jumping in the air. When I'm on my Warlock and Titan, however, I usually go with Counterbalance in order to make the recoil perfectly vertical at 75. Ever since High Impact Fusions got nerfed, this is the weapon that I gravitated towards to replace them. I feel like most people picked up precision frames like Main Ingredient and Plug 1, which means that the adaptives have a leg up in terms of charge time. The thing about fusions is that if you die before getting all your bolts off, your gun just stops shooting completely. So with the faster charge time, they'll go down before they're able to get their full volley off. The range of Timeline allows me to play away from shotguns and rapid fire frames. Baiting corners and backpedaling puts me easily outside of their range and them well into mine. Timeline's Vertex does 39 damage per bolt if you're in range and 20 damage at the range floor. Damage drop off begins at around 20.5 meters and hits the damage floor at around 24.5 meters. You can still reliably nab kills at 22 meters, however it becomes physically impossible to do so at 24 without some sort of damage buff. When you have something like Charge with Light active, then damage per bolt goes all the way up to 47. That's essentially what high impacts were at before the nerf that they received. Whenever I feel like playing to win or I'm in trials and I have to turn on the sauce, I pull out my timelines. I absolutely love this gun and it has been my go-to weapon this season. I hope you guys can look out and get one of these to drop for you, or that you find one tucked away somewhere hidden in your vault. Well, that's it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. As always, I'm the Swag Chef and I'll see you in the next one.
Team that fights together stays together.